Hi, my name is Kim. Thanks for joining me today for our gentle yoga practice. One size does not fit all in any yoga practice. So be mindful of any injuries or where we tend to hold tension or stress, might be a little tight. Any of that depends on how deep we want to take a stretch or not how deep we want to take a stretch. So always listening to what you need. We will start our yoga practice seated, and if this isn't comfortable, we want to be comfortable. So I'm going to use a rolled up yoga mat to sit on. You could use a blanket, a pillow, something to sit on if this is not comfortable. Simply just to lift the hips, and this then allows the hips to open. So we're going to get started in your comfortable seat, and we're slowly going to bring that chin to chest. If this needs to be a little deeper, we can bring the hands to the back of the head to help draw the chin closer to the chest to make that deeper. And no rush, let's bring our chin towards the sky. And slowly drawing our right ear toward our right shoulder. Once again, if that needs to be a little deeper, the right hand can help assist in that. If you would like to, we can tuck our chin toward that same shoulder. Let's take our chin back up towards the sky. And we're going to bring our left ear toward our left shoulder. And then tucking our chin toward that same shoulder. One more time, let's take our chin back up toward the sky. And then back to center. And we're going to stretch those shoulders a little bit. So taking one arm on top. We're thinking shoulders. What is best for the shoulders? Those fingertips can be wherever you need them to be as far as finding that shoulder stretch. No one size fits all. So whatever feels best to you today. We're going to unwind and just change with the other arm on top. If one side is different, it's no big deal. We just want to find that good stretch. Let's unwind those arms. And take those feet out to a diamond-shaped butterfly pose. Bottom of the feet are going to find each other. We want to feel a stretch in the lower back. So if we want to start to bend out over our legs, if that makes that stretch a little bit deeper, we can do that, or simply just wherever that needs to take us today. With a straight spine maybe. And unwinding from that twist, stretch, bringing the feet in towards the body. As always, no one size fits all. We can be here, and then again if you want to head out, take that stretch over the legs. And let's help ourselves unwind. And I'm just going to set my yoga mat aside. If you want to set your pillow aside if you've got one. We're going to extend those legs. We're going to feel a stretch right up and through here. Anywhere from, here to here. Maybe even more areas. It just depends depends on how we're feeling today. We're going to take that right ankle above that left ankle, right ankle above left ankle. We don't need to go any further than this. If we feel a stretch here, we could take that right ankle above the knee, flex that foot to protect the knee. Check in, see how that feels. We could then even start to, if we can't quite feel that enough, even take that foot up a little bit. Even cradle that top leg. Sometimes it feels kind of good to head over to the side so we can get a little massage for that hip. So just a little rounding out through that hip a little bit. And let's make our way back. We got to see how that other side does. Let's take that left ankle above that right ankle. Check it out, see how that feels. Maybe ankle above the knee. If so, we're going to flex that foot. You start to play, see what feels best as far as maybe giving that leg a little lift, that foot, cradling that top leg. Maybe you want to head to the side on this side. And we're going to help ourselves unwind. And we're going to make our way to our mat, to our child's pose. In our child's pose, we're going to bring our hips back. Let the forehead find a nice place to relax. And if those hips don't want to go all the way back, it's so not a big deal to have those hips more up in the air. Our letting go pose. Find your nice calming breath, nice healing breath. Let's make our way forward to our stomach on our mat to come into whatever variation you would like of our cobra. Our baby cobra. Hands by those top ribs. Elbows not hanging out, elbows towards the back. We're opening up through the shoulders and the chest, as well as feeling that spine lengthen and a stretch for the back. And I could lift my hands off of the mat, so that is the height. We could lift our hands off of the mat and it wouldn't stress our back out. Or maybe we want to come into our Sphinx pose on the forearms. Or cobra, a little soft bend in those arms and the heart comes forward. And our up dog, really pressing through the top of the toes, lifting the legs off the ground, arms straighten, chest comes forward, eyes to the sky. Let's help ourselves back to child's pose. This time take those knees out wide. To where is comfortable, to wherever that is comfortable. And we're going to slowly help ourselves up to all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and taking a spinal stretch here. We're going to float that right leg back, and that foot is either going to be pointed or flexed, and that foot's going to stay in line with the hip. Neck's in line with the spine. If that feels okay, we could float the opposite arm. The left arm could extend forward. winding, we're going to see how it goes on the other side as far as floating that left leg, foot in line with the hip, pointed or flexed. If that feels okay, we could extend the opposite arm. Making our way back to all fours. We're going to round our spine towards the sky. So dropping our head and dropping our tailbone, cat pose. However long you would like to stay here is perfect. When you're ready, we would come into our cow back. So our belly rounds towards the mat. We lift our head and we lift our tailbone. And so it definitely feels like we're sticking our bum out, because we are. Because we gotta find that stretch. So take a couple here for what feels good to you between those cat-cow backs. From our neutral spine, we're going to come into our down dog. So with the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, we're going to tuck those toes under and lift our hips to our down dog. So we have weight in our fingers, our thumbs, the pad of the hand, the pad of the palms. Thighs drop up and back and that tailbone lifts. If it feels good, you can bend one leg. You're going to feel a pretty big stretch up the other leg, and then just take turns bending those legs. You could bend both knees in at the same time, and they could go towards the mat or to the side. In our down dog, we're going to take that right leg up to our three-legged dog. We're going to step that right foot to the front of our mat to our runner stretch. If our foot comes just, halfway, no big deal at all. We can use that right hand just to help bring that right foot forward and finding a nice stretch for our hip. We're going to drop that back knee just nice and soft and bring those hips back for our half splits. Big hamstring stretch here. So if we want a little bend in that leg, if those back toes, they can be tucked under, that's a pretty big stretch, or they could be flat. Or we could, if we're thinking, I'm working on my splits, I've got an inch, I've got 2 inches, half splits, full splits, anywhere in between. Let's make our way back, runner stretch. We're going to step that right leg back, down dog. That left leg is going to lift, three-legged dog. Take that left foot to the front of the mat toward our hand. So again, if that foot comes halfway, use that left hand to help bring that foot forward. Just giving those hips some love. And our half split, softly back knee finds the mat. We're going to bring those hips back. Find where this stretch needs to be today with your leg straight, a little bend, an inch, 2 inches in the splits. Take your time back to your runner stretch. Let's step that left leg back, down dog. And let's bring those knees to the mat. And child's pose. Bring those hips back. If you like those knees medium wide, really wide, or close together, they're all really good. It's just a different stretch because no one size fits all. So find your child's pose, our letting go pose. Breathing. That calming breath. We're going to make our way forward again to our cobra, any variation you would like. This time, once you feel comfortable, you can take your eyes back as if we were looking back at our hips. And we could change sides, just kind of wiggling through our cobra. If that feels like something good today. And let's bring those feet in. We're going to take a seat, but we're going to go to our backs. So if you want to hang on to the back of those hamstrings or your shin bones, we're just going to help ourselves back. We're going to give those knees a hug in towards the belly. So here, if I take a little sway and my knees are closer in, I feel that different on my back than if my knees were out here. They both feel really good. So just play with that little sway side to side. Plus the feet above the heart is so good for our reverse flow of blood and circulation. We'll take it. We'll take it. And then let's plant those feet hip width apart on our mat. And arms just can relax to the side. Let's take that right ankle above that left knee. We're going to flex that foot. If we need more of a stretch here through here, we can softly push that thigh away. We don't have to do anything. If we still feel like we need more of a stretch, we can have the fingertips to the back of the leg to the hamstring. Hug the left knee in. Maybe that starts to make that stretch deeper through the outer thigh in the hip. Outside of the hip. We could take that leg up if you wanted to add a little bit of a hamstring stretch. And no rush. Let's bring those feet back hip width on our mat. Arms relaxed to the side. Other side. Left ankle, foot flexed above that right knee. We can be here. We can softly push that leg away. If that's going pretty good, we can reach to that little window to the right leg. Adding on if you like that hamstring stretch. And unwind with those feet hip width apart. Let's go ahead and bring those knees in just above the hips. And so I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of that left knee and help yourself bring those knees to the right. On this side, we're going to draw that left shoulder to the ground. It doesn't have to find the ground. It will just add that intention and make that stretch a little deeper. Left shoulder towards the ground. And if the neck likes this, we can turn our eyes open or closed to the left. Let's unwind back to center with those feet hip width apart. And just bring those knees above the hips. I'm going to take my left hand to the outside of that right knee. No rush. Knees fall softly to the left.
And my right shoulder's kind of popped up in the air. I'm going to see if it can draw towards the ground. And eyes to the right, opened or closed. And helping ourselves back to center and to our right side. We're going to use our hands to help ourselves up. And that is our gentle yoga practice for today. And I hope that felt great. And thanks for practicing, and I will see you next time. Namaste.